Hey guys, Casal here. You're about to watch Thorin talk and talk and talk. But it's kind of good, I swear.
Right, I'm here for another episode of Talk to Thorin, and my guest for this one is going to be Zorte, who is a Russian AWPer, famously played for the team forZe at one point in time a few years ago, people might remember. So the place I actually want to start this little interview, Zorte, is, like a lot of Russian players, you haven't done too many sort of Western interviews or big profile interviews, and I think we'll get into some of that in this interview. But one place I want to start is actually a thing I noticed that is unusual about your career is... Nowadays, if we think of people like Donk and Kiyasuke and old Monesi, we're used to now, Russia's like a talent factory that brings teenagers out who are really good and they start dominating the world. I actually noticed you played for quite a few years as just like a random person way before forZe, where I think you were like, what? When you something like 22 or something when you joined forZe? It was kind of a bit late, right?
Yeah, it's because like I was started to play in CS when I was 19, actually, because I lived in the far east of Russia, is like more far than Siberia. And when I graduated from the school, I moved to Novosibirsk. It's just like a Siberia. I have a 100 ping. I play Dota 2 and accidentally started to play CS because like there is like a local university tournament in CS. And I started to switch my game and started to play CS. I quickly like getting form and I understand that it's like it's my game. And I had maybe 5,000 hours in game. I had 2 KD on Faceit and 3 KILO in that moment. And I just play local tournaments with Perfecta, with Glowing, and we smash everything and everybody like, and this is my career start. But in that case, that it was really hard to move on because I have a 100 ping, as there is no meta in to pick up new players because
Sure.
there is no like academies or something, and just you really need to try hard in a local team, goes to HLTV, and after you maybe, if you have a good statistic, you will be picked up by a better team. But it's like if you get the luck, actually. Yeah, and I actually spent a lot of time to progress, and only in 21 I been invited in unique team. It's my first team where I get money from it.
Right.
Actually, yeah, I just leave university and go to like play professional CS. And after 1 year in unique, I feel like I overgrow this team, and I had a really good statistic in that team. But yeah, I just live in unique, but I didn't have like a good invite from team. Just forZe came. There are no choice for me. Okay, I just choose forZe, go to forZe, but was like a lot of problem inside of team. And I was a newbie. I thought that people gonna teach me something or something like that. Yeah, but it's nothing. It's like a new team, new build. Fleet want to go to VP, some problems, and actually it's the same story as unique. I just need to focus on myself. I try to progress individually, but nobody cares about me. It's just like it's individual personalities, and you have to play. Like coaches has proper, I don't know, like method or something like that progress. And I actually 2 years in first 2 years in forZe that would actually. It's not was heartbreaking, but I understand how CS actually works in that moment, because like nobody cares about you, just you with your minds, with your thoughts, and actually I felt in that time I was a bit depressed actually.
Oh wow!
Because and I just when I only joined to unique. I feel like very motivation. I felt like it's inspiration that I actually achieved that, and I feel like I was promising actually. But and I have a good statistics. Everything was fine. Everyone is believing in me that I can carry everything. But in forZe there is like I felt like people already reached something. They play on them on Blast in Moscow or some.
There was a Blast.
I don't remember.
Yeah. It was the one that was won by like Virtus.pro when the Vanguard joined.
Yeah. And they felt exhausted as well, actually.
Right.
And I just joined this team, and I think that something will happened that extraordinary, in my career, but it's nothing. It's just like you join the team, but nobody cares. And that moment was really hard until the fleet go to VP and Fierce as a coach came to forZe roster. And after 1 year, I actually managed to pull this off, this feeling. And somehow in the ESL Pro League and Paris Major, I felt the same inspiration as I was playing Unique. And something like that.
Does that mean that even when you were in forZe, you still lived in the east of Russia?
No. Actually, when I joined to Unique, they moved to... I actually moved to Kaliningrad. It's like it's a small part of Russia separated by Russia and Europe.
Yes. It's a part that used to be Germany, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because actually that's one thing maybe actually that will help explain Russian Counter-Strike to Westerners, mate, is they think of Russia and they think like it's a European country. So they don't realise, like basically, as far as I know, esports in Russia is just the west part. It's just like Moscow and that part area in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, exactly.
But as you say, if you live like the east side, I mean, basically, as far as I know, the only person I think who even comes from there is Donk or something, right? There's almost no one comes from the very, very east side. So there's no esports there, right?
Yeah, actually me, Donk, Perfecta, Glowing, Travis.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
But if you go there, as you say, the problem is you're basically going to have to find a way to move to the west to have an esports career.
Yeah, exactly. But
right.
Actually in Russia, like it's mentality of people is a bit different because in Russia you have like if you live in Siberia or some like in this area you have just like low salaries. You don't have money. You don't have money, actually. Yeah. You can't move. And that's a problem. You need to progress in this area, and maybe if someone will pick up you, then you will get the money, and maybe you move. But unless, it's really impossible.
By the way, I'll say this in a polite way. I've heard that the salaries in forZe weren't very high, but from the number I heard, relative to like living in Russia at the time, it sounds like it was still decent money, though. Is that true?
It depends on what you compare with. Actually, in that moment when we were like the top we were like maybe top 15 or something. No, if you speak about me, I don't think that I had a good salary.
Right.
So it's just like it's a normal. You just have.
Okay.
It's enough for living, but if you compare to what the numbers right now,
it's not like where Vitality make like 30,000 a month or something crazy, right? I see. Okay.
It's actually I could say why not, because the contract is over. When we were like top 15, I had
holy fuck,
1,000 euro.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like 4,000 or something.
No.
Oh, 1,000, like, fucking hell.
It's maybe Jerry.
Right, because he's a veteran, I see, okay.
Yeah, but not me, actually, because actually forZe have they had a good structure inside. They really passionate by the game, but
it's just a small organization, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a small organization. Yeah,
it's not Virtus Pro or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
I don't think people understand, like, Team Spirit and Virtus Pro are way bigger than some of these other teams, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, actually, I want to ask a few questions about forZe. So, one is, when you joined the team, I actually remember when you were playing well early in this team, it was actually an interesting detail that maybe people didn't even know if it was you that was good. Because actually, if people remember the previous forZe, who, as you say, was already like a decent team, they were probably like a top 30, sometimes top 20 team, they could go to land sometimes. Mm-hmm. In their team, they used to have that player, Exapower. He used to be the one who was the AWPer. And bro, whenever I watched forZe's games, I was like, I can't even tell if he's actually that good, because bro, they used to give him the AWP like every single round, CT. Like they permanently put the gun in his hand. On T side, it even looked like they did that thing where they just tell him where to go and he just holds his angle and takes it. Inside of forZe, did they give you freedom? Did you get to have a say as to how you AWP? Did they put you into a similar sort of a model or a system where you're sort of like Jerry's pawn? What was it like?
It's kind of freedom, but like we are different players, exactly. But I don't need to use the AWP every round. For example, if I have like 7,000, I just drop to a case and to fleet and let's go win the round. It actually doesn't matter for me, but Exapower was the most like individual, you know. He wants to be like better, the best in the team, and I feel this was his problem actually, because he had a bothering with other people and take offense sometimes, and it's really hard because I wanted to be a good guy actually, and like Zai, you know, like you just need to play good, you just need to play communication good and everything good. It is like the best player in my opinion, and there was like a freedom, but sometimes if Jerry calls, you just have to do it, and actually it depends on you what you have to do and what the situation is.
Because the reason I bring that topic up of like how in the team he constantly got the AWP 24/7, it felt like he would even get the AWP if the team didn't even have good money. Because I always thought in that team, the weird thing was, because of the stats and him being the AWPer, people were telling everyone, oh, he's the star of the team. But then when I would watch the team, as you say, this is when Flit was in the team, mate. And he was like, if you ever watched his aim, he was unbelievable. He was clearly like, it was obvious to me he was going to go past forZe one day. And I'm actually kind of shocked he's not in the fucking one of the best teams now. Like, I think he could be in Team Spirit or one of these squads, you know. So when you played with Flit, was he already like star quality to you? What was he like as a player?
Fleet was very calm, you know, like for example, when we were in bootcamp, for example, we just we just finish the pracs, he go to his room, just watching some TikToks, you know, just a common guy, nothing special. He's a good guy, actually. He's a good friend inside team, but he had some specific things that he didn't talk much, especially when I play with him. But now I heard that he changed a bit and she tried to more communication with team. And but actually, I didn't feel that he was like a star or something like that. He was like a common guy. He did something. After some games, you saw a crazy statistic, but it's not like a simple, you know, just he do everything. He just like a talk and a kill and I don't know, in nades. He's just a lurker, you know. Just we have some protocols on the map. He did it well, and he had a good individuals, and that was enough at that point. Actually, yeah, that's it.
I don't know if this is something that like penetrates the language barrier and that Russians know this, but in the West, at this time period, actually, even though I'm talking about AWPer and Flit, most Westerners actually never really understood who the other players in this team were. The only name they cared about was actually Jerry. In fact, because there's in history not been that many good Russian in-game leaders, a lot of people were always saying like, why isn't he, remember at the time Russians could join Na'Vi, why doesn't he get to go into Na'Vi? Why doesn't he get to go into whatever, Virtus.pro? Why doesn't he? Basically, everyone always wanted him to leave that team and go to another squad and leave everyone behind. Is Jerry some sort of special in-game leader? Is he some sort of mastermind? Is forZe his whole project? Is this true?
Unfortunately, for me, not. But like, especially when the first came, all structure, what all things what we have, it's all on first. Actually, all. Jerry is good.
This is the coach, by the way, for people who don't know. The coach is genius, right?
Coach, yeah. Jerry is good guy, but actually, we have a question. We have a question for him, and it's nobody's playing perfect, you know, inside our team. It's just like it's on Shell TV. You see like Jerry managed to pull this team off and qualify for the major, something like that. But inside our team, it's not. It's not like people translated it.
Right.
It's just like everyone. I don't know like how to explain actually. Everyone inside team feels that we have some problems, and for Jerry, I think it's especially when we were playing Paris Major, the most questions were actually for Jerry in that moment.
Ah, right.
Because yeah. And in that case, after the Paris Major, Fierce were a bit like disappointed by Jerry, and we decided to part away. That's this case, but it wasn't like translated like Jerry. It just was like Jerry leaves the team or something like that. But actually, that was a bench.
Ah, I see. Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. It just was a bench. But we were like a good friends. We just actually we're tired of each other, sometimes. It's maybe not a Jerry problem, but actually the last year in forZe, that was hard. Actually hard. Jerry tired, me tired, and everyone feels that we need some changes, but organization just not able to do that because they don't have money, Simple as that. And even if we go top like 10, they simply just not able to increase the salaries, just some condition inside organization.
Right.
It's they're not able to do that. And everything just, I don't know, after the major, I understand that I need to move forward because I spend a lot of time with this team and nothing changes. And in this case, we actually part away with, and that's it.
The other player in forZe I wanted to ask about is shalfey, because to me, when I watched this era after Flit had gone, and it was you and him instead of Exapower and Flit, I always thought like you were the star AWPer, and then shalfey was the star rifle. Like actually, he's another player I'm really shocked has never been in either one of the best teams or even maybe even gone international. What can you tell me about this player?
Actually, when the forZe brings shalfey inside the team. Actually, that was like Flit is gone. forZe come to TeamSpeak and they just said, now we're playing with shalfey. That's it. And we started to play shalfey, and the first glance, he was like weak in individuals. He had a bad shooting, and he was not sharp, like we trolled them that you need to play some DM or something like that, aim, but do something because he literally not able to kill in
right.
in back, like,
right.
In some cases. CS, it's like it's simple, but simple it's sometimes is you're not able to pull this off, that simple things inside the game, because you need to communicate well, shooting, and every stuff that people mind that it's easy, but for professionals sometimes it's not.
Yes.
And shalfey, maybe first year he tried to be like BlameF,
Right.
I mean, he pulled the blanket on himself and tried to do all his work. But after he understands that maybe he don't have enough talent or something like that to progress, and he just step away from this. And we started to play as a team. Maybe forZe and another players believe in me. I don't know, like especially I really felt it at some point, because just people inside teams that started to speak these phrases like, come on, you have to do it, or something like that, just like motivation and stuff. I really was shocked at that point, and people just needs me. Okay, I started to grind, and that was how we're doing actually. And it really was a good time, especially when we started to play as a team, because we had a lot of discussion when the shalfey play like that in the first year, because a lot, especially me, I didn't like it. So I was on a part that we have to play like a team together. Nobody was like whispering behind the backs and something like that. Just we need a team. And after that, actually, there was a good time. Shalfey is a good player, especially right now. He's a captain. He would like to switch the roles, and I think he's really good. I think that a lot of people don't understand that CS, it's really simple game right now, especially if you, for example, see how the new roster built, and you see the nicknames, and you don't understand how far this thing possible to go. In the first glance, it's weak, but CS works like really. It's really random right now, especially in CS2, because this game it's really easy. If you just shoot, if you have a good talent inside your team, like a Donk or something, just like very talented player.
It's a lot about firepower, right?
Yeah, it's firepower. It's much easier to play, and I don't understand like why people didn't pick up shalfey or Dilly Death at some point. Now he picked up by Betboom, but unless Betboom he didn't get some invitational to European teams. People think that you have to do something extraordinary inside the team. But if you have a good experience, for example, like me, I don't know, like why. I think people just underrated me for some reason, or even don't even notice me for some reason. But for my perspective, if I had a good team with good communication, I actually managed to, I don't know, it's possible to play really good for me. I understand that I'm not Donk, I'm not Zaiva, I'm not monacy, but I have enough talent to play like in top 10.
Right.
Exactly. I'm really sure. But people just even didn't notice it. You're trying to, don't know, like pick up some crazy teams like Falcons or something like that, but actually it doesn't work because you can pay players, but you can play you can pay the results.
Yes.
It actually it's really hard, and in CS2 I'm pretty sure that you need to have a good chemistry inside your team because it's really impossible to play like the last year in Betboom, for example. It's just like it's really hard. It's really hard to play, and the last year was really depressed for me as well. Because we didn't stuck, we just didn't communicate properly with each other, and that's it. It's in the first glance, it's a good team. It's a good team, like maybe top 15 at least. But what we can see, like it's not even close. Actually, it's this how game works. Actually, I don't understand why people just don't notice shalfey or fierce. Why fierce just. He's not.
Yeah, nobody knows him in the West, mate. No one's ever heard of him.
Yeah. But I promise, he's really good.
Right.
He's really good. It's the best coach we ever had. It's the best coach, and he's Hali's friends, and I know that they communicate with each other. I'm not sure right now or not, but in the past for sure. And he's really good, but nobody cares. Why?
In this time in forZe, though, I do think, like, at least I noticed when I watched, I thought you were very good. And this is actually at the time when there wasn't even that many Russian AWPers. Like, there was obviously, like, Monacy was really young and he was already in G2, so I don't count him.
Yeah.
There was Jame. There was Shiro. That's about it, though. After that, there's not many people actually with the AWP that are any good, mate. Like, there's a lot of the other names are kind of a bit average. So at this time, do you think this was your peak? Was this when you were at your best?
Actually, I don't think so. It's like
okay.
I always think that I didn't get a pick at all. Like maybe when we were playing in forZe last major and the ESL Pro League, in that moment I felt that I can pull this. It's possible to me to break this wall. If I just join to the team, for example, like Molodoi joined to Furia, and someone who really believe in him and gave this knowledge how to play, how to use something, just to show this way, like how to progress. But I didn't manage to do that because I didn't get a good invitational, just like EG, but it was like you have to build from zero, It's not what I want at that moment. I expected that join a builded team, like who already played and some experience, and they gonna teach me. But unlucky, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And every time I just have to build from zero to hero every time. And actually, in this point, I was really exhausted, and I actually tried. And for now, I really feel that. Only now I feel that I really want to play and I really enjoy this game, It's because when you're playing the season and something happening inside your team, you feel like depressed, You don't understand what you actually want, how do you manage to pull this off, and all this stuff. Because it's really hard. We have another mentality in CIS. We all a bit angry on each other. It's I think that it's more competition inside our team.
Oh wow!
Than against enemy team on the server, And in this case, it's really hard. It may be my mentality. In this case, it's not good. I'm not a stone. I need a good guys who really believe in me, because if someone it's expecting me to, I don't know, it's if someone expected me to play bad and every time speaks it, I will play bad. I don't know. It's just my mentality, But if I feel that I really need, I play well.
Okay.
It's that simple. And I understand that, and I try to fix that, but it's really hard, It's just your personalities. It just came from the school from young, and it's really hard to pull this because I don't know, like I just didn't have enough competition unless CS, and I didn't prepare for that. And the first time when you need to manage to solve this problem inside your head, and when people everyone talks that you're bad, and actually it's hard to me to progress. I don't know why, but now I will be like much stronger in this case, and even someone just talk shit to me, okay, guy, like we'll see what's happening next. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not, but we're playing like shit as a team. But it doesn't matter who play better or well, Like if the team doesn't show some results, it doesn't matter how played actually. And in this case, yes. But if he speaks about my did I reach my peak? I think not. Because in CS2 especially, it's a different game for me. At the first glance, it was a really shit game because when we were playing on Sydney, it's better, it's better. It's impossible to kill. It's always lagging. Even now, it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. But for now, when I did some break, and I understand that I really love this game and I want to play.
If we go back in forZe, the other thing is the time that you joined was right at the end of the whole COVID period where everything's just online, and people will know now. The joke is even simple. I had to discover this recently with BC Game. It's really hard to just be in the tier 2 online circuit where you play every day, sometimes official games, and you never go to LANs. And you get one LAN, it's a small one, and if you do badly there, it's just back online. It's a grind, right? So in this era, I imagine it must have been, and also since you said you didn't get paid much, to qualify to that Antwerp major must be a big deal, right? You get sticker money, you're at like a real major tournament. Like, as you say, you get to the odd tournament, like the odd LAN, but that's where you're going to come last and no one's going to notice it. Was it a big deal to qualify to Antwerp?
Yeah, that was a big deal for me, especially I break this wall in my head, but that was really nervous for me. And that was the first big tournament for me. I was cheated, I didn't play well as well. I didn't manage to pull my thoughts and things, but I really tried to help my team. But after this tournament, I understand that it's nothing, It's just a major. It's nothing special, because who cares about you qualify for the major? You have to fight for trophies. It's just a major. It's just okay, you get some money. Okay, it's good. You just prolong your longevity without organization, but nothing special. Yeah, that really gave me some experience because when you didn't play some tournaments, it's much easier if you already see Zaiwu in real life, at least once, because you just watch him on the internet, but when you face him on LAN, it's just a bit not scared, but you understand that they're like a grunts, they're like a top team, and it's really hard because you understand that you just came for this event and how I managed to win them if I didn't much experience, it's really hard to break this in your head. And I think you need to qualify for these tournaments, and doesn't matter how you show yourself. It's just experience. And in that moment, I didn't was really upset how I played. Actually, it was a really good time. I was just discuss with myself, just understand that nothing bad actually. It's a really good experience. It's okay. I just need to go further and just think how I managed to do that in my head. Just fight this pressure and understand that I'm a good player and it's all right.
To me as well, like as you say, if it's your first major and you actually literally had to play like Vitality with Zewu, Outsiders with Jim, even the Imperial game, that was actually a really good game for Fallen. Like these are all like legendary, massive figures. You know, if someone's a rookie, I actually say this about Molodoi and Furia right now. I don't really blame them that much if they have a hard time at the major. You expect that's when the pressure will come, and you learn over time, and that's an area you also improve as well as in the game. But for me, if you go the next year, the one you talked about, the Paris major, this is the one where it was like the big deal for forZe for me. Like, was way more harder to qualify to. Like, actually, on paper, people would have said you wouldn't have made it through this qualifier. And what people will forget is that the actual major itself, you guys absolutely could have made the playoffs. Like, this was real. Like, you could have gotten through the Swiss, it looks like. So, can you give me some thoughts on this run? Was this the best forZe?
I just remember how we qualified to RMR, and that was really hard because we were in Malta. I didn't remember. I just like our manager told us that we need to play some LAN in Malta, and with is like it was the same dates that close qualified to the RMR or something like that.
Right.
And we just wake up early morning on this LAN, played this LAN. After we lost, like maybe we didn't even win a single game or something like that, maybe one, and in 10 p.m. we have to play a close qualifier. So we wake up in 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. we have to play, and we started from 0-2. We lost to Havu. Or not Havu, maybe like some Finnish team. I don't remember, like Alu, Jan or something like that. I didn't remember. And it was the second game, and somehow, I don't know, it was really a miracle. We just woke up in the next day, and somehow we managed to play with just, we didn't discuss, we didn't like take some offense to each other. And it was really good. It was really hard. And I just remember I didn't really expect that we managed to qualify because it was really hard. It was exhausting, was tired, but somehow we did it. And on the RMR, I don't know, like it was like a second breath, like second breath. I just like take some gap and just started to play, and that was really good, especially when we facing on Aurora on 2-2. I understand that I really good. I didn't nervous when I play against CIS teams. I just feel confident because I understand the side better. I don't know how this works because maybe I know them like individuals, like personalities, and just came to the server and just destroy them. And that's easy, and it's how the confidence started to progress. And I think that was a break point, the break point moment on Malta, because we started from 0-2 and we managed to, that was really bad. It's really bad, and everyone understands that it's like, if you didn't do that, you just disbanded, that's it.
Right.
But that was really hard, and I'm glad that we managed to solve this problem as a team and qualify for the major, and that result is deserved, actually. Is deserved. We did a lot of work, and we never give up, and that's actually cool. And on the Paris major, that was good result, but we face Game Religion on 2-2 for
let me just explain to the fans, right? The only bad result was you lost to BO1 to Greyhound or whatever it was, that like fucking the Australian team, right?
Greyhound, yeah.
But
on the Mirage.
the next 4 teams in a row you got all ended up in the playoffs of this tournament. So you beat Team Liquid in a BO1, you beat Monty in a BO1, then you lost to FaZe Clan, who by the way was like actually a really good fucking team still. Obviously this is when they'd won the Grand Slam, and then the last team was Game Legion, who went all the way to the Grand Finals. Like it's actually quite at the time it didn't look so crazy on paper, but those are actually hard teams at this tournament. These are all playoff teams. Yeah,
but when we lose to Game Religion, we was really upset. But that was lucky. Then they go to grand final actually, and it's not looking like bad, like you just lose to the finals. But I don't think that we didn't. I just like in that game, I felt that some people inside our team that. They were missed, They just don't feel confident that you have to do that, and that break point, just like they have to they had to break this wall for them. But I understand inside of the server, especially when we play Inferno, I just a bit take offense to my teammates. I just remember it because like I told something like, "What we fucking we doing here? Actually, we just start to play and stuff like that." And in that moment, I really remember. And after this round, I understand it was really hard to win, because people just demotivated or something like that. They understand that it was really hard. And especially on Inferno, I remember when we switch from T to City, I managed to kill 4 people on Inferno on short or something like that. That was the crazy headshots. And after this round, okay, maybe we managed. But after some rounds, I understand that it was really hard. We didn't prepare as much. If maybe we continue to play this roster, and maybe the next major, if we had to solve everything inside of a team, maybe we need to take one change, right. Like maybe to pick up some new players to everyone feel a new inspiration and maybe something. Yes, but I think that was over for forZe. It's like actually dead end.
By the way, this time period, actually, I think a lot of people will have forgotten this detail, but there was actually a situation where, because at some of these majors you had some like good performances, and this is when like people know probably that forZe doesn't have a lot of money and it's not a big team in that sense, right? There was a rumor that I remember was posted online, and I looked into this. I'm a journalist, and I found it was true, which basically, even though it sounds mental, Zorte, like on paper, this sounds like a fake one from a telegram, because the story was, everyone remembers Evil Geniuses at the time is a big esports organizer who was millions and millions of dollars, but their team, that American team, was fucking shit. Like, if everyone remembers, they just lost like a million games on land. So at the time, the rumor was they were going to make like a big gamble, and they were going to make an international team where the only like North American player would have been like Elijah or something. So he would have joined the fucking team from Complexity. And then the rest of the team, this is why it sounds bizarre, bro, was going to be like Electronic, you, like Jax from France or something. Like, by the way, it already sounds like a mental team. I don't really know how it would work, but this is true. They were trying to make this team.
Yeah, that was true, actually. So that was close, actually, to sign the contract, but in the last, that was actually, the project just like cancelled, But actually, the truth, me, Electronic, Elijah, Jax, and the last one, didn't remember, maybe Breezy or something like that. Breezy. Yeah, I think Breezy. And it depends on how we started to new season. Maybe we did some changes, something like that. But yeah, it's the truth, actually. It was kind of saying that it was the most good invitational, like for me, actually.
Yeah.
Because I just, unless, despite on how I played on Major and ESL Pro League before, I didn't get a good invitational, Just you just get invite from EG. Hello, bro, but you're a good player. Okay, we want to sign you, but we need to build again from zero, Okay, but I have no choice, actually. I agreed, because that's why life is back,
Right, you can tell me what you want to say about this, but I heard the reason this project, look, they obviously didn't go ahead with the project anyway, but I heard one of the reasons why you didn't get to join this project, it might even have been why at the last minute they cancelled it, was like, look, at the time, like I said about the American team being bad, the concept people had of Evil Geniuses as an organisation, they weren't doing a very good job, like the top people in the organisation. And the story I heard basically went, when they were putting this squad together, they never bothered to investigate. Remember, this is 2023. They never bothered to think like, well, wait a minute, Russians aren't like fucking from Paris, mate. Like, they can't just come to country. You need visas, you need fucking situation. This is an American team even. Like, essentially, they just didn't understand what you call the logistics, like the actual official things you have to do. And so they didn't understand in your case that it wouldn't just be as easy as getting someone from Germany or something, right?
Yeah, actually, they didn't ask about it at all. So
right.
They didn't ask about my visa or something, just like straight go to sign a contract,
Right.
But in Russia, it's really hard, especially with the American visa, because
sure.
I have a visa right now, but I managed to go to Indonesia, to Jakarta.
Okay.
I actually spent 2 weeks,
Right.
For a 3-year visa, I spent 2 weeks. And it's a lot of money, actually. But bless God that the organization paid everything, like Betboom is paid everything. But it's really hard, and even in EU visa right now, it's really hard to get, because for me it's easy right now because I have a Serbian
right.
Living
resident permit or something like that.
Resident, permission like
right.
And it's easy for me because if I have an invitation from some tournament, I can just take it easy. But if you live in Russia, it's really hard right now because there's some sanctions. It's all come in, like it's really hard because it all changes, and you need the money, to do that actually.
Yes. No, put it this way, as a quick aside, it's actually why when I saw everyone last year being like, why would anyone sign Dexter? You can't even get visas. I was like, mate, you haven't looked into that. That's just Russians in general, mate. Like, it's not specifically Dexter. That's just Russians, isn't it?
Especially, when you have a EU manager, he's just no clue what happens inside of Russia. It's simple as that. Yeah. And I heard from Flamus, he said me that Gamer Legion didn't help him with visas.
Oh, right. Because that's why he missed one event. He missed like the Katowice playoffs or something.
Yeah. Because I don't understand what actually have to do in Russia. How is it managed to do that?
Right.
And, it's really hard to. It's really hard for your team, but actually, it's just case to case,
Yeah. By the way, I have an obvious follow-up question to this story about EG. If you're someone who's been grinding for years in the Russian scene on high paying with no money, you're in teams where it's hard to know if you're going to if you get an invitation like that, that sounds like the dream. That sounds like, oh my God, I'm going to get everything I wanted. And they're even sending you the contract. That must bomb you out if that just gets taken away.
Yeah, that was really crazy because in that moment we moved to Serbia. And actually, I just moved and trying to find a location, trying to find the apartments, and that for me the prices at that point it was really hard. No, I don't know, because I have a salary maybe at that point, maybe about 1,200 euros, something like that.
Right.
Maybe a bit more. I didn't remember actually. But if you want really a good apartment, you have to pay maybe more than half of your salary.
Sure.
And it was really hard. And when I saw the numbers from EG, what the salary I would have, and that was really crazy for me. Is 10x,
Yeah,
10x
of course.
Times. It's really crazy salary for me. I was really shocked. Wow. It's really people managed to do that, and the crazy thing for me that was a started salary,
Yeah, absolutely.
That was crazy.
Mate, I'll bet electronic salary was like 3 times that or something. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's maybe 30K,
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 30K something.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy thing.
By the way, this is just one last question about forZe. Because some of the players that were in forZe were just there for years and years and years, even if they were considered talented or there was other Russian teams could have used them, right? You can say again, I'll make this very open-ended. I don't know how much you like forZe, or if you can just say the truth. I don't know. You decide, right? Another thing I know about as a Westerner that maybe Westerners don't know, they think that every team in CS is like in sports like football and basketball, where it's like if you're the star player, you're just like, hey, I want to leave, transfer me to this team, or you just wait till the end of the contract. Then you're like, see ya, I'm off for free, nothing, I go join this team. I've heard it's very different in I've even heard the same thing about Asian teams. I've heard that if you in some of these teams, maybe the team thinks of it more as like we own you in a way, like we found you and we own, and it's not as easy to get out. And even if you're in a team that, as you're saying, it might only be 15th or 20th in the world, sometimes they're asking for like the kind of buyout that should be for like fucking NIP or something like that, like a really crazy buyout where no one's going to pay like $400,000 or something. But they do that so you can't leave the team. You're sort of stuck. Was there any of this in forZe, do you think?
Actually, the same problem, because forZe understands that if we just leave the team, it's really hard to them to manage on to reach the same level. Because there is no people who want to join forZe because like a salaries, condition, and all this stuff, and they understand that they just need to start it from zero. And in this case, of course, they want to to take some money from me and from other players. Yeah, it's the same story actually. It's like people trying to get money, and actually it's fine. But when you just translate it into your career, it's bad actually. It's not really like a case that some manage to buy you, because it's really high numbers, and bless God that somehow Betboom managed to buy it, and that wasn't like a crazy number, but there was a lot actually. If I think that if it wouldn't be like a bookmaker or something, that the normal team with like normal sponsors didn't get me.
Yeah,
it's no way, actually, no way. That was it's a good number.
When people will forget, because at this point in time, Betboom, because they actually do have money, they have cycled through a lot of big name players. Actually, a lot of the different players throughout the Russian scene have come through. But I remember the first like core lineup that you were in. On paper, this even looked pretty good, mate, because you had like Nafany, who obviously was coming from Cloud9. You had Chiron, who at one point in time was supposed to be like the fucking answer to Virtus Pro, even though he was barely there for like 5 minutes. Siren was obviously in like Spirit, where they were like doing like runs at majors and stuff. Like you were there. Like this squad on paper looked pretty good. Was it a good team?
At first glance, yes, but we were started actually good. We qualified for the Sydney, but after we just facing the same problem as my previous team. So we need a structure. We need a coach who just will communicate with organization, and just we just need the people, or maybe one guy who really understand how to progress as a team. What we have to do when we need to did some changes, inside our team, or just simple as that. We just need a guy who helped me and Nafany like with some strategies, in all this case. But we respected it because it was like first roster for Betboom, and I understand that will be really hard. It doesn't matter how we started, and always like depends on how we will progress and how it will be end. And it's what I fear the most. It's like it's appeared in some time. So we started to find a coach, but it was really hard. We try to call Innershine. Innershine came as analytics, just do some stuff. But for me, that wasn't like a decision, because in my point of view, we just the only structure that really works. It's the structure the same as a Spirit, When you have a coach who really decide everything is the number one. It's just here rule, and he decide. But Innershine that. He
never was a coach before, right? He was just the analyst for FaZe or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, it's really hard, and maybe like his personalities, he didn't fit properly, After we just tried to pick up a railway, but that at first glance that was better than Innershine. We maybe some progress and European, and he was a player, before. He understands something and all these cases, but anyway, like in my opinion, that for organization, that there is no like structure, Just nobody. Just it's hard to predict how this roster will how it's gonna play, because like the problem we faced. That actually we managed to fix this problem in forZe when I only joined the team, That was really like baby problems, but we didn't manage to do even this.
Right.
And as I see it, like now, it doesn't matter how many people you change in roster. It's all about structure, Like I have been watched interview with Cheshire from Spirit, like the CEO of Spirit, and he actually said one phrase, and I actually agree with him. It's like if you have a good roster, the roster will not play if the communication between roster and organization is not connected as much as like to control over this team and just CEO and everybody understand how it will be works and how it will be progress. Because if this link is not correct, it doesn't work. And I felt that we have the same problem, and it really shows how the team maybe even the team have a good players, they just don't progress as much, in some cases. But it's only my opinion, maybe I fall, but I just I was in this project from the start, and I understand everything because like I have some experience in this case,
Sure.
and I don't know. It's just my personal opinion, but we just I don't know. Like I didn't manage to pull this off. I just when I joined to Betboom, I didn't feel that I need to play individually good, but I need to learn people how to play. Like but personal. But actually, I didn't have much experience. I need to someone who teach me how to play. I don't need like teach Kyron on Dennis or Siren how to play. Like after Sydney, we lost to Complexity in playoff. That was my first stage, and we lost them. And I remember how some people inside my team just crying because we lose.
Wow, right.
But for me, it was like good result. Why are we crying, guys?
Yeah.
We did a good work actually. And in those time, I feel like I'm like a psychologist. I try to, I don't know, like calm people down or just like trying to solve the problem, and I just forgot how to play. I just switched my focus from trying to be like best in the team, trying to switch focus to this. And we talk with nafany every day that we need a structure, we need a coach, we need like proper protocols, and all this stuff. And we didn't. And plus we have bad results because like it was a routine, you play online. There's someone like team from top 70 just shit on you.
Sure.
Like it's really hard, like it's all this problem, and it's it's hard.
In this team, another name that I think has an interesting reputation in the West is Nafany, because even though if you actually look at his results with Cloud9 and Gambit, look, online they were the best team. Then on LAN, they were like in semis of majors, and they were like actually like they could in theory win tournaments. Like they actually, there's a lot of talent in the team. But believe it or not, in the West at least, people actually flame Nafany. I think he even famously got flamed on Twitter, and like even Simple was like trying to side with him and stuff. Right? Basically in the West, people think he was one of the problems in Cloud9, or like he's overrated as an in-game leader or something. You've worked with him. What is your perspective on him as a captain, as an in-game leader?
There are actually two type of game leaders for myself, especially nafany is it's similar to Jerry. It's not a fully structured captain. He sometimes he want to call from his perspective and some I don't know. Actually, what from his feels, sometimes. If he want to go through smoke, he just go. Go through smoke. It's just like there is no like really structure. He just want to rely on his feeling inside the game. Yes, but and the second type of is like a structure captain who just rely on protocols, what they like communicate with a coach, what we did prepared and something like that. At nafany, it's not this case. His best, maybe habit or something like that. I don't know how to describe it. He really hungry to play. When he playing, he's really another person. He's really angry. He need to scream. He really takes some offense with teammates and all this stuff. And but actually, it's hard to say that. The result was in Cloud9 that it fully rely on nafany, and there was like Exile, really talented guys, Shiro, Hobbit, and crazy guys, When you have these guys inside your team, even you a captain is really overrated role for me actually, because at first point people think, Spirit playing against Vitality, and the Chopper didn't do some crazy stuff, but what he actually have to do right now, especially if you just join the server, just lose some clutches or something like that, you playing like Captain didn't do as much as people think, It's just like he calls by protocols what we communicate with our coach, and that's it. Sometimes, he managed to just make some call by his feelings, but that's it. Maybe 1 or 2 times per game, and I don't know. In this case, what I heard actually from nafany in Cloud9, there is more like discussion between him and Hobbit. There was like some offense, between, and maybe the same story as that what we have in forZe,
Right.
They just played with each other a long time, and they tied from each other.
Right.
That's it. There is no like wrong guy inside. They already reached what they reached with this roster. That's it. It's just like the way is over. You have to do something new, and that's it. But people in social media, like every time trying to find some guy who actually lose this roster, and
who to blame the problem, as they say the problem, right?
Yeah, it's a problem. But actually, when you inside the team, it's
right.
It's not that easy how people just thinking. That's it.
Because along those lines, later you had Boomich as your in-game leader. Now, Boomich, that Na'Vi team he was in, is probably one of the best teams ever. Like, they were unbeatable almost. They went smashing everyone. But the reputation he has is quite different. People actually think he's more of like what you said, like a loose style caller. Obviously, he himself's got a crazy playing style for an in-game leader. What was Boomich like to work with?
Boomich actually a nice guy, first of all, but like he had some problem as every player. Every player has actually the simple like with the communication. Maybe sometimes he just take really heartbreaking things to his point.
Right.
Maybe when I talk something to him,
he takes it personally if you criticize him.
Yeah, personally, yeah.
Right.
But he had a good experience with Blade. He every time trying to reproduce this. Calls or system what they had in Na'Vi, but in my opinion it doesn't work right now because there are different players. You need a coach, especially who had a full control over yourself. Because Boomich a good captain, it's 100%. But in Na'Vi, when you have electronic, simple, it's Boomich a good player, but he wasn't like he didn't play a major role.
Right.
It's just a good player in a good structure. That's it. But, I know a lot of players. It's not a Boomich. It's not a Boomich, but from another teams. They even, won tier 1 tournaments, but when you speak to him about the game, he don't understand nothing. It's just
very basic.
He clueless, he clueless about the game. In that point, you're just like, how you win something,
Right.
And this is how a game works, actually. If you play it in some team and you won, it doesn't matter that you will join another team and started to reproduce the same structure in this team, and it will work. Because maybe you just misunderstand something when you're trying to progress in your previous team. Yes, and we try to, I think the result what we have in Betboom in this roster, it's not on Boomich,
Right.
It's just on the structure, and I think that he just at some point when we lose some online tournaments and we didn't get some invitational to the LANs, it just brings all routine stuff. We're just trying to stagnation, and it's really hurts him because he used to play LANs.
Of course. Has higher expectations, right?
Yeah, higher expectations, yes. Yeah. But we just qualified for the Blast, but we didn't have a visa. So unlucky. But after that, we didn't manage to do something because when we were group up on our first boot camp, that was really awful in my opinion.
All right.
Because after this boot camp, we lose everything.
All right. Okay.
Everything, I can't tell you everything, but that was awful, especially from my point of view.
Okay.
I'm not telling about another team, another people inside the team, but from my perspective, it was not good. It was not a healthy, it wasn't not a healthy boot camp.
Okay.
Maybe it sounds a bit rude to my teammates or coach, but actually that was how it's what I feel. And in that moment I play really bad. Actually, below 0, it's what really the hardest time I ever seen. And after that, I just trying to solve this somehow, or trying to get some medicine, pills to like, it's not antidepressant stuff, but it's like to calm down my thoughts, you know.
Right.
And I actually managed to do that. I started to play 1.2 before the major, and I really have a good statistic and pretty good results. But and I actually managed to end it from 0.9 rating to 1.9 rating, unless we were playing. We played not bad on the major, but there was not a healthy team. You know, we already understand that some changes will be, and I understand that. It's really hard time for me. I have to decide. For example, if they not to bench me, I probably do myself to bench. You know.
Right, you needed a break.
Yeah, I need to break because it's really hard, and another season in that atmosphere. I can't, you know. And yeah, but 1.2 rating, 1.1 rating in this meta of type, it's
very good for an
yeah. It actually, but the bench me, it's okay because I understand why I had some problem during the season, but I don't think that a major thing, you know. It's that's it. And about Boomage, maybe after some episodes during our work with each other, he understand maybe I'm not the right guy who he wants to meet, you know, like see inside the team. Maybe not. I didn't actually communicate with them about it, and I didn't ask. It's maybe I could ask him just like why I've been kicked, you know, like it's a normal question, but I didn't actually ask because I have my point of view on all this stuff. And but yeah, Boomage, good captain. I have a really good experience from him, and you know, like maybe the best captain I ever played. You know, in all cases, he's really enjoyed the game. He's working hard. He's a really good guy in outside and inside the game. Yeah, he had some problem with the mental. It's all this stuff, but it's a normal, you know. Like,
sure,
he's a good.
What about the player that I am always confused about in this particular squad is, you mentioned him earlier from Cloud9. It's when Axial joined the team, right? There's a term in English, it's called like overqualified. Like the joke would be, I've been in esports like 24 years, I've done majors. Imagine if I just went to like a small website and I applied to be like trial news poster. It'd be insane. Like I'm overqualified. Like I should be like, I'm too good for that job. That's what people thought when Axial joined this team. But if people go and look at the results, he kind of has been much worse, it looks like, than he was in Cloud9. And the reason that's so bizarre to me, Zorte, is, first of all, CS2 really does look like it's about aggressive AK players just shooting everyone in the head. And this guy, when he was at his peak in Cloud9, there's a reason he was like, I think he was like 5th or something in HLTV for like the year or something. He was unbelievable. He used to have like he was like some Kiyasuke, he wasn't quite donk, but he was a really fucking strong player. Yeah. Did something happen to him? What would you say about Axial?
Actually, when he only joined the team, I feel like he's really calm guy, you know. He don't speak much. He's like only speaks info, that's it. It's like and I felt that moment that he was really inspiration because he wants to play online, he wants to play like a LAN, and after some heartbreaking points in Cloud9 for him, especially, it's what he talked to like between each other. Yeah, that was really good. The first season, the first like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 months in Betboom, he played really well. Because like a lot of people think that CS2 just hits him, you know, like, and it's a main problem. But in my opinion, it's not the main problem. Of course, it's gave some, you know, like, you know, it gave some problem to him because it's different game, it's different type of game for sure. It's like there's like a different individuals you need to practice because it's all about stress, it's all about maybe some random stuff and all this case. But in case of Exile, it's not the main problem. In main problem is Betboom, especially. I think after he played really good 3 months, just think, he played 3 months, 1.2 rating. Big group up on bootcamp. After bootcamp, he plays 0.9.
Right.
How? You know, like 10 days. 10 days is possible. And after that, people like, oh, Exile is just like he's washed or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not his point, like it's not his fault. It's all things, all structure inside the team was like he not able to do something because he's very calm guy. Sometimes he overreact when people speaks about his performance, especially inside the team,
Right.
because he didn't used to hear the critics in his way, especially in Cloud9 before Electronic, because when Electronic comes, it's like a critics as well.
Yes, that's also the reputation.
Reputation. And after this bootcamp, maybe people inside our team just not believing in Exile. Maybe we changed some roles because he didn't play fully star roles, and he just maybe feels the same as me, because he didn't feel that he needs as much a team as he expected. And Magnar Days took all roles because like the like a coach vision, something like that. And every bad game we just communicate and like it's not a fully aggression, to Exile or to me or to someone, but it's like a silent aggression, silent.
Right.
It's like you're not a bot, but Exile, just like you just like you're not that Exile in the CSGO, CSGO it was different game. Now in the CS2,
Right.
Exile, who are you, like and all this stuff, and I kind of feel it, and after I really like have a talk with Sergey, and pretty much he has the same feeling,
Right.
and it's all about structure. It's really good example how even the most talented player, not the most, but he like a top maybe 20, the most talented player of all time in CS. It's for sure. It's even this guy, if you don't have a good mentality and a good ego, people can manage to pull this off, just destroy it.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a good example, and it's how you need to manage your players properly, because even if you have like all stars, it's not like it's not the result you will expect.
Yes.
It's really hard. Yeah.
By the way, in CSGO, I'm sure as an AWPer, you heard this your whole career. Because the AWP was really powerful and all the top players on HLTV was like Device, Simple, all the AWP at Shiro eventually, right? It means that what used to happen is because there's only one AWP in each team, all the other players are rifle players. So all they used to do is bitch about the AWP all the time. It's too powerful, like should nerf it or whatever. And then CS2 came out and bro, I feel like it went the other way. Now the joke is when I'm an analyst or I'm a talk show and I'm talking about AWPers, people are always, I'll give you an example. People always criticize the fuck out of like Shiro, to me, is like probably the third best AWPer in the world. Yeah. And the craziest one is when they want wonderful cut from fucking Navi every month, bro. And I always say, who are we recruiting? Like, if they're good enough numbers, because the numbers are way lower than CSGO, I always say, bro, if you look at numbers, by the logic of numbers, like the HLTV rating, there's like 5 good AWPers in all of tier 1. Like it's not like the old version where every team had a good AWPer and you could always get good. He usually had the best numbers in the team. In CS2, is the AWP worse? Is there a problem with it? What do you think?
It's kind of actually what you speaks about, like every topic on the show TV after Navi lose that we have to.
Yes.
It's wonderful. In some of this case, it's not true because like people they don't understand in CS as much as like professional teams, and they used to keep that knowledge from CS:GO. They just remember how open in CSGO that was. It was really crazy, and people managed. You must have a good statistics in CSGO because like it's like unless you have unless you're a bot, like at least 1.1. And CS2, maybe people need some time to change their mind, because only now people speaks about that. And if you have 1.1 actually, I saw on Twitter some statistics that from top 20 teams, and only 5 AWPers or something have statistic more than 1.1.
It's amazing, isn't it?
If you just look at Maladoy, he actually had a great games, but so his statistics, it's not crazy. Like it's not even like
no.
It's edge on 1.2, but in CS:GO it's nothing. Like 1.2 is like you're talented, but it's not like you're not the best, you know. But in CS2, yeah, especially look at forZe, for example. Yeah, sometimes you have a good tournament, sometimes you have a worse tournament. It's okay. Now this game is random, and people used to like understand that. And opening right now, it's not the best you can choose right now, especially if you are a new player, you know, because you don't have a good ADR because you have a one shot, just people running with a crazy speed. All have a good aim, you know. It's maybe game is random, especially online. Someone had a jittering or something like a problem with the internet or all this stuff, and you have a one shot, and it's became like harder, you know, and people don't understand that. Yeah, you have a one shot kill gun, but it's not about it, you know, because maybe now you have to play more aggression because just like a pick advantage is crazy, you know, right now. It's crazy. It's like
whereas old opposite, you hold the off angle like Jim. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
It's actually abnormal, I would say, because like especially if the player who picking you know where you are exactly, you know, and exactly. No, it's hard, especially just I don't know. You play on arena against Vitality, and Robs now just knows where you stood.
Right.
It's crazy, you know. You understand. If Robs pick you, you're just dead, you know. It's or Donk or every player who they are skillful. Yeah, in this case, it's really hard, especially Mouse. We look at this major forZe 0.8 or 7 rating. Yeah, he had a bad game, but it doesn't mean he's a bad player, you know. It's just a tournament, just one game, best of 3. He played bad, but it's it's a reality of hoping in CS2. It's good, and that's why I just trying to focus on another things. That we need to really good mood, really good relationship. You have to, even you don't have a good statistic, you need to throw grenades or do some like helpful stuff, you know, inside the team.
Sure.
It's really powerful, helpful, because especially you look at the JM, he's like a captain and open and do every stuff, strategies. It's really crazy because Pasha knows my friend. He told me a lot about Jam because he and Jam is several like friends, and he told me a lot about Jam, and he's crazy guy actually. He live in CS.
Yeah,
he's crazy, and I don't know how he managed to. How he managed to do that, all the stuff, it's really hard. Especially you need, when you have only one goal, to just play well, you open and you just join the team and you need to perform well, do whatever you want, just play. It's really hard to manage when only with one goal, you know, but you need to cap and do all the stuff. It's really hard. And and now I feel that you just need to understand and for yourself, just if you not manage to close this game by yourself, like hard carrying games, you know. But I don't see like people who could do it consistently right now. Even Zyvo, you know, maybe one map 1.4 ratings, another map 0.9. No, it's hard, and even for Zyvo, if he talks about like a common normal guy who just not very talented, it's will be overthinking that you manage to pull every game over, and just like opening is kind of hard today. Yeah.
At the end of this interview, I'm pretty sure some people, if they were fans of you back in the day, or maybe they're Russian fans, or they were fans of forZe, they might wonder, is Zorte done? Am I going to see him again? So at the end of the interview, do you have a message for people? And is there anyone you'd like to say hello or thank you to?
Yeah, actually, I don't think that I have much fans, you know, but I don't have maybe I'm not a popular guy in Europe, but actually I'm not done. I really rethink what I had in Betboom, and now I really understand for me what I have to do and how I want to spend this time with my career. And if someone will be picked up in any team who actually believe in me, I promise I will be a good guy and will be a good AWPer for sure. Because like I didn't feel any time better than right now, actually. So I feel really good right now. I really like exciting to play, and I don't know. I do all my quality stuff for my life, like a gym, like health, sleep, all this stuff. I know it's important. I'm really care about it, and age or something like that for me is not a barrier. You know, I understand what I have to do is only on your head, and for me it's not over. I'm pretty sure if someone really supports me, thank you. I actually notice every word when people speaks to me and some message or something like that. Yeah, it's really pleasure to hear because like for pro players, it's really important to hear because in most cases you just hear just you're a shit player, you know, but you're not a god. That simple as that. It's life, you know.
True.
People just always complaining. People just compared you to another people. It's all this like a hard stuff, and I just want to speak to each other who will listen to it. Just if Wonderful play bad or something like that, just don't go shit to him. Like, you know, just speak to him some good word. And be a nice, you know, be a kind guys, and not point to speak rude, you know, to another people. That's my point.
Спасибо большое.
Не за что.
If you've heard that I'm a bad man, it's only in the Jamaican sense. Well, you know what? Here's my posse that's keeping me held down. And that's, of course, my Patreon community, the Skrilluminati. So this video and the others on my channel are brought to you in association with Matt Pugnaccio Racula, Ben Glass, Toucan, Nikki, Jason, Jensen Gore. A special thanks goes out always to my main man, Jerky's Minion, and American Yone. Do you want to suggest a topic or a guest for my content? Would you like to take part in one of those lengthy donated discussions with me where you set the topics? Do you want teasers, find out who the upcoming interview subjects are? Maybe you want to ask me a question in my video AMA? Well, if any of the above perks tickle your fancy, put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati today, where at the Patreon link in the description box below. Booyah!